Okay, how many of you guys have one of these at home? It's like full of all your beautiful scraps.
Yep.
Well, I got a bunch of them.
I can't imagine you having a
probably-
bunch of those.
Yeah, I do. I probably have 55-gallon drum of scraps, and I don't want to part with them because they're really pretty.
Yeah.
And sometimes I think I've got to put those in something. So we're going to talk about, or we're going to do some string. Let me see what I call it. This is what I call it: scrappy string paper piecing.
Scrappy string paper piecing.
Yeah, and it's mindless quilting.
Yes,
and
we
it's
like that.
Great for your scraps, especially when there's ones like this one that you don't want to get rid of. You know, you don't want to throw those away. They're too pretty. So you can put them all on paper. So really, all you need for this, you can use any kind of paper. If you've got vellum, use that. If you have
even copy paper.
This is just copy paper. Yeah.
You could use an old phone book. You know, phone books still do exist.
Yeah, those are great because usually you just throw them away anyway. So just take them and tear them up.
Yep.
And so you could do any size. So I've got a couple of samples of what this is going to end up looking like, and it's very easy to do. So this is I just got myself an 8x8 square. Oh, sorry, right there. And just took some of my scraps and put them on there. This one's a little, don't have to do square. You can do, here's a rectangle. You can put them in your border, whichever. I'm sorry, I'm backward here.
Oh, no, that's good.
And then
I like that idea.
Little tiny one. Did I?
Oh, right here.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, I love this one.
And then
this is so cute.
You can take it. So I just laid this out, and I thought I'm going to make that into a little pumpkin. So I just kind of cut off the edges. I took the paper off the back already, so it's a little bit stretchy. So you don't want it to stretch too much. And then I'll just sew a little thing on top with the stem at the top, and there you go. It's like a little cornerstone. So it'd make it a perfect square.
It would be the cutest pumpkin.
Easy to do. So
yes.
The main thing you need to have prepared to do this is make sure your scraps they don't have to be any particular size. See, I've got a bunch that are just any size.
Yep.
And make sure they're pressed. Now these are not pressed. I just grabbed them out of the back here.
Okay.
So pretend, poof, they're pressed.
Poof, they're pressed. So well, since I am wearing a crown today, I could probably do that.
You could do that.
Pressed.
With your perfect little thing. Okay.
Pamela says this is how her grandmother taught her how to sew.
It's the best. Yeah. This is great for little kids too. So I mean, all they need is a piece of paper.
Yes.
You lay and this is all we're gonna do. You lay your fabric on there. I'm doing mine diagonal.
And Judy also said you could use muslin, so you don't have to tear it off.
You can. That's true. I like to use paper.
It's just gonna make it thicker.
Yeah, it makes it a little bit thicker. I like to use paper because it's really stable, and sometimes my scraps are not, on the grain.
Right.
So that's why I like to use paper, but I've used muslin as well.
Okay, let's take a look at what you're doing.
We're going to go
here.
ahead and just
let's pull this down right over here, if you don't mind.
What we'll do is we'll lay this right here, and so you're always going to lay the first scrap face up. Okay.
Okay.
And
so right side up.
Yep. And then we're going to take a second scrap, lay it on top.
And let me show something here, because notice this is kind of at an angle.
It's wonky.
It is wonky. So it is not a perfectly straight piece. I love that. Okay.
Yeah, you never have to use a straight one. And this is why I call it mindless. All you need to make sure of is that you have a straight edge to sew against.
Yeah.
So that you've got your 1/4 inch going. So I've got dark thread in here. So pretend it's white.
That's okay. No, actually, I'm glad you do have the dark.
You can see it real easy.
And what are we sewing on today?
We are sewing on my favorite machine. It's the Janome 9450. I bought one. It's dreamy. I love it.
Yes. And you know what I love? I love this little thing right there. The little highlight.
That's right. I had just moved my needle over to a 1/4 inch rather than
back
put
there
on the 1/4 inch foot.
Probably in their way, but yeah.
And because I just wanted to jump on and start sewing. And I've got the foot set so that this raises up as I go. And we're just going to make this stitch real fast. I'm sewing straight along the edge. And then I'm just going to cut it. Now the next little thing you're going to need or want for sure is this delightful little tool right here. And I can't even remember what these are called.
They are the seam rollers.
Yes, seam roller.
Yeah.
And then you're going to take this and roll along here. It makes it nice and flat. So you don't have to jump up and go to an iron unless you've got your small iron by you.
Or for those of you who have the fabric folding pen, this would be perfect time to use it as well.
True. So that's the first seam. So when I do this, I always like to do one on either side, just so I just kind of go back and forth.
Okay.
And I'm not doing any particular order or anything. And if I decide that, I don't really want this one this wide, I'll actually just adjust my seam and
yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
yeah, I'll I'll do that in the next one.
Okay.
So I'll go right here, stitch along. Help if I put my foot on the foot pedal. Okay, cut that. And the nice thing about this is if you make any mistakes or it gets wonky or whatever, you can always throw it away. It's just scraps and it's just paper.
Exactly. That's so true.
And then you've got this one. I just press it open. And we'll go to the next one. Let's take let's do a red on that right there. So I'm gonna go, let's go right here. We'll stitch right along there.
I mean, you are completely off of the paper. You're not really paying attention to anything.
That's why
right?
this is so fun.
Yeah.
It's just completely mindless. And you get really cool looking blocks while you're working on this. So press this one open. See, and now I've already got kind of a funky look to it. See, it's going kind of a little bit
cool.
crookedy, and
I like
I'm going
it.
to take this purple. So here's what I was talking about. So say I don't want that to be a perfect straight stitch, or straight width.
Mm-hmm.
Say I want it to be a little funky.
Mm-hmm.
I'll go just like this, and I'll just stitch it like that.
Oh, yes.
And as long as I've got a straight edge to sew again.
Will you show that one more time?
Mm-hmm.
See how she has, like, it's not lined up against the edge.
Right.
It's at an angle there.
So
I
I'm
like
going to
that.
it'll be narrow over here and really wide over here.
Okay.
So let's go with that.
And the kit.
Okay. And then we'll press that open.
Okay.
So now you can see how it went
Oh, yes.
a little bit kind of like a fan. And let's get this last little purple right here. We'll make that one a little bit wonky too. Let's go like this. And this is just a 5-inch square that I just decided I'd just cut it that way. And then,
I mean,
so
because
now
you could do this with any size.
you can do any size. I love the rectangle. I love, because you could put that on a border.
You know, we don't see rectangle blocks very often either.
And this is like a 6x9 rectangle. As long as you've got strips, you're good. And then let's put
Looks
this
like we need one more.
fun one over here. Let's just go just like that. And then we'll trim it, and then we'll have a perfect little 5x5 square.
Love it.
Oop, okay. And that should be enough. You press that one open. And then I'll take this, if you turn it over like this, you can see. And I'm going to go over, since I've already got my paper cut to 5x5, I'll take it right here.
And you're just going to trim the rest, trim the excess. This is
just
such
trim off
a
my outer
fun
edge.
project.
And you know, if you want to work on something, like I'll go and put this, since I have so many scraps floating around in my sewing room, I want to work on something, but I don't have a whole lot of time, so I will just grab some scraps, some paper, and then there you go. You've got something accomplished in the 10 minutes that you had available, you know?
That is so true, because, I mean, you just don't even have to really think about
There's
it.
your little block.
Yay!
So there's that. Then I can put it with this, and, you know.
Oh my goodness, you could do all sorts of fun configurations.
Tons of different configurations, that's right.
Yes.
And so.
Look at these. What do you guys think about this?
So anyway, that's
my
fun little thing.
I love the pumpkin, and you just added those little corner blocks. I love that.
I just kind of snowballed it, and then and then what you can do is just take a little strip right up here. You'll put a little green stem in the middle and 2 white sides, and it makes it a perfect little pumpkin.
Yes, it is. It's absolutely perfect. Oh my goodness. And then you're just going to tear this off. So I would imagine you'd probably need to shorten your stitch length a little bit. Yeah.
I put this one at 2. I frequently go to 1.8.
1.8 is kind of your go-to.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're just going to tear these off.
Yep. And then that's it.
Oh my
Then
gosh.
you can stitch them all together, and you've got a lovely little quilt. And just a bunch of these together would be fun.
Oh yeah.
So,
yeah.
So here, I'll take that and finish it for you if you
Oh my
want.
gosh, it's kind of like peeling a sunburn.
Yeah.
I'm just
oh my
saying.
gosh, and I just did that to my feet.
Did you?
I had terrible sunburn on my feet, and I was like,
oh,
as terrible as it is, it's like, wow.
wow.
You know how we all are.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that.
Yeah, exactly. So just a really fun idea to do, fun idea to try.
Yeah.
And to
you can get a
just try
quilt
it out.
like just I call them garbage quilts.
Garbage quilts, I
Yeah.
love that.
Because it would have been my garbage.
That's right.
But
I think it would be fun as cute little pin cushions.
Oh yeah, that would be
Just
cute.
fun little pin cushions would be great.